Hi, I'm Mike Richter, and today we're going to be talking about 5 ways to have $1,000 in 1 month. Now, the reason why I'm doing this video is I know a lot of people are having a hard time finding savings in their lives, especially when they're struggling and they're behind on their bills and they're trying to go ahead and have an emergency fund to set up so that they don't have to rely on credit cards or payday loans to get themselves through the week. So for these 5 tips, I'm going to be including both savings and making additional money tips. So tip number 1 is going to be a budget review. If you don't have a budget, it's probably that time to actually make one. Down in the description below, I'll be providing a link to a budget template that you can use to actually look at a lot of things that you might be spending and compare that to your last month's costs and see where things are kind of out of whack there. I know at one point when I was having a harder time in terms of finance, I realized that I was eating lunch at work pretty much every day of the week, and it cost me about $50 a week in food and drinks. And by changing that to me bringing my lunch, I saved about $200 a month by doing that one thing. For you, you might find other things that you're leaking, or maybe you'll find things that you could just do without. For example, back in 2005, my wife and I decided that we really didn't need cable. And instead of spending $50 a month on cable, we ended up just going with Amazon Prime. Prime wasn't a thing yet, but Netflix was just starting up. And we started off with Netflix spending $10 a month. And we changed a $50 bill down to a $10 bill, saved us $40 each month. So maybe you could find something that's very similar in your budget that you're just bleeding money from. So think about that. Step 2, shop strictly by lists. So this applies to grocery shopping or trips to Walmart or trips to Sam's Club or Costco or wherever you do the majority of your shopping. But one cool thing that my wife and I started doing recently is we started using a grocery pickup service. And this is provided by Walmart. We have a couple of neighborhood markets and a couple of super Walmarts in the town that I live in. So what we do is we just go on the app that's available for iOS, and my wife did a great thing. She went through all the products and found the things that we normally get on a day-to-day basis. And what we do is we fill our shopping cart every week. In fact, that's something that we're going to be doing tonight. We figure out what we're going to be needing for the next week, and we order it online. That way we pick it up the next day. And the cool thing is my wife goes ahead and puts all the items in the cart. I take a look at it after the fact. We discuss what we actually need and what we don't need, or what are things that are nice to have. And by doing that and not having like the impulse buys that come from walking the aisles and grabbing just random stuff that looks cool to have but doesn't normally fit in our regular everyday lives, we saved about $300 a month using this service. So we used to spend something like $700 a month on food, and now we spend closer to $400 a month on food. And I've got a family of 4, so it's my wife and I and a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. So tip number 3, check daily habits, right? So a lot of people have things that they do on a daily basis that cost them quite a bit of money over time. So the common example that I hear of a lot of times is a cup of coffee or a latte from Starbucks or something like that. And the most commonly quoted number is $5 for that. So say you work 22 days out of the month and you're spending $5 a month, or $5 per working day on a latte. That's $110 that you're looking at saving by changing away from that. For a personal example, I was downing 4 energy drinks a day at one point in time when I was working 80 to 90 hours a week on salary, so I wasn't making overtime. Missed out on that one. But those energy drinks were costing me $6 to $8 per day. So that was hurting my pocketbook quite a bit. Other people have a habit of smoking cigarettes. A pack of cigarettes a day racks up to somewhere around $7 if you're buying them pack by pack. If you're buying them in bulk, you're looking at paying a little bit less, but still, that's a lot of money each day on cigarettes. And I get it, smoking is a very tough habit to kick. You might want to check out something like vaping or something that might be a lower cost alternative, or maybe tone down the amount of smoking you do so that it may be a pack every other day instead of one pack per day. Those savings add up over time. Tip number 4 is sell stuff on eBay. You'd be surprised how much stuff you've got lying around the house that you don't use, that you don't need, that you can sell on eBay. I know that I've got a bunch of trading cards. If I really wanted to, I can sell some gold that I've got lying around, some old jewelry that we can go ahead and liquidate and sell if we really needed to. But because we don't, we limit ourselves to selling things on purpose, right? Something that you can do is, say you've already gone through all of your stock and you now live a minimalistic lifestyle and you've got nothing extra that you don't need. Well, maybe some of your friends or family have huge hoards that they really want to get rid of, but don't want to spend the effort on listing their stuff on eBay or Craigslist or whatever platform you use to sell stuff on. Well, maybe you can negotiate a 50-50 agreement where you put in the work and sell their stuff and then give them half of the proceeds. Most of the time, if they're not doing anything with the stuff and they want it gone, it would be really nice for them to get half of the value that you managed to bring in. And if you can do that consistently, well, maybe you have the makings of an eBay store. Maybe you'll find products at yard sales or estate sales, and that could be a profitable side hustle for you in the future. You never know until you try it. And the coolest thing about it is, for the most part, all you need is a cell phone and an internet connection. So it's just as simple as that. You can make anywhere from $100 to $1,000 a month or more, depending on if you really want to scale it up. Now, tip number 5 is to earn more with side hustle. Now, this is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart because more or less the whole time I was in the military, I was always doing something on the side to really help me and my family to progress in our financial state. Something you might want to think about are, what are the skills that you have, and do you do things really well that other people hate to do? Something to think about. Or maybe if you're hourly, maybe you can get overtime. That's another way that you can earn a lot more money than you would otherwise. Or maybe you're in sales, and the way to earn more money is to make more sales. So you invest in yourself and find ways to make more sales. There you go, you make more money. So 5 different side hustles that are pretty awesome in my opinion. I've got a couple of videos up on side hustles already. I'll provide a link to the playlist down in the description below. But the 5 are affiliate marketing. Basically, you sell other people's products and they give you a portion of the sale. Additionally, you can do pizza delivery. For a period of my life, I was delivering pizzas on the side, and I was making somewhere between $15 to $18 per hour doing that. And I would work 15 hours a week, so it was an extra $225 in my pocket every single week. And so that money added up very quickly for me and my family. You could also start up a lawn service. I know a lot of people hate mowing lawns. I hate mowing my lawn. I pay for a lawn service because I don't like to do it. I hate being out in the Texas heat. I hate doing this thing called manual labor. I'm not a big fan of that. So I'm willing to pay somebody to do that for me. If I were still living in Maryland, whenever it snowed and there would be snow in my driveway or on the sidewalk in front of my house or something like that, I was always looking to pay somebody to shovel that snow because I hated to be out in the cold shoveling snow. There was this one time where it was 2009 and there was this event called Snowmageddon that happened where I was living in Maryland. And basically, we were caught completely unprepared. It had never snowed that much since we had been there. And we were basically snowed in. Work had pretty much closed for a whole week because none of us were prepared for it. The municipalities were not prepared for that much snow, and so nobody treated the road appropriately. So what ended up happening was, by the end of the 5th day, somebody on our block went ahead and attached a makeshift plow to the front of their truck, and they just plowed a path for people to get out. Thankfully, my wife and I were able to get out and get peanut butter and jelly and bread, because that's really all we could afford at the time, because we were making intentional choices to do good things with our money. And that was a really crazy experience, but I would have gladly paid for somebody to go ahead and shovel the snow away from my car so that I could actually get to work if I needed to be at work. So that's something to think about. And a cleaning service. Maybe you're really good at doing household chores. Maybe you really like cleaning. I don't know a whole lot of people that do like cleaning, but the ones that I know that do like cleaning a lot. And a lot of people just hate doing their household chores. So they're more than happy to pay for somebody to come in that's trustworthy, that will do what they're promising and won't steal their stuff. There are a lot of people that want that kind of service. So if you're one of those people that can provide that level of service and can be consistent and go out and find clients, then maybe that's a way for you to earn extra money. So just as a quick recap, our 5 tips were: do a budget review, because you never know what kind of savings you can find in your regular budget. Second tip was shop strictly by a list. So this goes for grocery store shopping, or just going shopping at Walmart, or maybe you're going clothes shopping. Know what you're shopping for so that you don't get caught up by sales and all the shiny things that you find while you're shopping. The tip number 3 was to check those daily habits. You never know what toning down your energy drink consumption can do for you. Nowadays, I only drink maybe one Starbucks double shot, or one Mr. Brown's coffee, or one energy drink, as opposed to the 4 that I was consuming before. So instead of $6 to $8, I'm looking closer to $1.25 to $2 a day on that habit that I've got. Tip number 4 was sell stuff on eBay. You can go ahead and find great deals on stuff at estate sales and at garage sales, so maybe you can turn those around. You can find things at your own house that you just don't use anymore. Might be valuable to somebody else. Go ahead and sell it on eBay. And once again, you can partner with friends and family that have a lot of stuff that they need to get rid of, but they really don't want to put the work in selling them. Maybe you can come up with a 50-50 split. And tip number 5 was earn more with some side hustle. So play to your strengths. And of course, I assume that you have more time than money. Otherwise, you wouldn't be struggling to get that $1,000 in the first place. So maybe you can get some overtime, sell other people's things, deliver pizza, or open up some kind of service where you serve other people with a skill that you have that you either enjoy doing or don't hate doing. So those are things that you can do to get $1,000 this month. If you like this content, by all means, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you feel that this is valuable to you and your family or your friends, go ahead and share it. It's out there so that we can benefit and win with money and do great things in our lives. If you'd like to see more content from this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for your time. And remember, you're only one action away from the rest of your life. Make it a great day.